Sweet.
All right. Pilot episode 0.
Take one.
Take 1. More than happy. Oh, I should have got one of those.
Clapperboard.
I'll tell you what. Why not? You can just introduce yourself.
What now?
What are you
I'm
doing?
I'm clapperboarding.
Oh, the clap. Oh, okay. Got you.
But obviously that doesn't produce enough noise, does it? So I just clap.
So I look like I got a killer tan right now. It's great.
I know you look
Anyway,
like
yeah.
a sunbed.
Pilot episode 0. No title, no name at the moment. Bit of Mario, basically. Bit of Mario
Party in the background because time of recording is 2 hours before England are in the Euros final. So I'm getting a little bit excited, and I think this is the perfect way forward. Tom's on the whiskey, and I've had a cup of tea. There we go.
That was you mean to go on.
Bear in mind, well, I think we should introduce ourselves. The man in red there is Tom, otherwise known as Snorlax. And I'm Adam.
Yep.
Yeah? Yeah, confirming that. That is your name.
That's fine. Yeah, just confirming.
And I'm Adam, otherwise known as, I guess, Twitch name, Wildside TV. Tom, your Twitch name?
Snorlax in disguise.
Boom. There we are.
Yeah.
And what is this, Tom?
This is Mario. This is basically myself and Adam, after a few bevies, were like, we should do a podcast. And then
like every other bastard in lockdown.
pretty much. We were like, what can we do sitting at home on our asses that requires little effort other than playing a game and chatting shit? And we thought, the perfect idea. So ideally, the plan is to have a podcast. For now, we're just going to start off on YouTube. Basically, it's a whole gaming related videos and audio, all that kind of shit. So at the moment, there's no kind of what can we say, like process to what we're doing, but
it's more like rambling chats about things we enjoy, and what we enjoy is games.
Yeah,
and we enjoy
I was going to say we might branch off. Yeah, we might branch off into other things related to, nerdy things, anime, films.
The pop culture podcast.
Yeah, pop culture podcast.
There we go. So I'm just. This is going to look really fun off camera, isn't it?
It always throws me off. Where am I? There I am. Have I got to shake it out?
Yeah.
Tell you what, because you've got it on camera. I don't, and it does look a little bit suspect.
You look more suspect than I do, because you can see my weapon. You're definitely.
You can see your weapon.
You're definitely cradling yours.
Yeah, it would definitely. I mean, this is the best way though, because then you end up winning.
I know. I can't get any sweets out my jar.
Told you, it's little movements. Little movements.
Oh god, the computer's beaming me here. Anyway, right. So what are we talking about today, Tom? Because a few things have happened this week.
They have. So I think, seeing as we are playing Nintendo, the first thing we should bring up is the... Oh, I've got to press ready. The Nintendo OLED.
The OLED, the new Switch. Not the Switch Pro that everyone thought was happening. But...
Oh, they never let you know what's happening.
No, not Nintendo.
Yeah. Okay. Just go first thoughts. Like, so you're expecting the Pro and you get the OLED. What happens in your mind? Right.
I saw it on Instagram the other day. I went on follow Nintendo. Hang on a minute. He's done it. He's only done it. And I saw new Switch, and I was like, this is it, blah, blah. Because all the chat leading up to E3 was they're going to mention it, and obviously they didn't. But this is Nintendo. They keep their cards close to their chest. My initial thoughts were sick. New Switch. The screen's slightly bigger. It's OLED, so it's crystal clear. You can... one of the main takes is that playing it outside should be great, because light reflection should be a lot better, because when you're outside, and the brightness or whatever of the sun reflection, you can't see the screen that well. That's eliminated.
I never go outside anymore because of that reason.
The sun itself.
Yeah, the
It
glare.
blinds you. And it, I generally thought the dock and the Joy-Cons, the silver, looked really cool.
Yeah.
And this, it says enhanced audio. The new kickstand, it looks a bit chunkier. It looks a bit more like a solid little machine.
How can you enhance audio? Like, I feel like a bit off topic. Maybe not off topic, but a tangent. No. Basically, I'm branching out to something else right now. But you fucker, just stole from me. How much further can we go with like audio and video, all that kind of stuff? And I know we're going like off topic from the OLED, but how are we going to improve any further? It's just like you can't get. Surely there's going to be a point where like you cannot get any better.
I think
That's what I'm trying to say.
it depends. Like, due to the line of work I'm in, like I know that, especially in the side of TV, in the realms of picture quality, is forever, ever expanding and changing. Like, for example, look at these PS5s. Look, I've got a PS5 over there. On the box, it says 8K ready. Nothing is 8K at the moment, but it's there, and it's more pixels. That's all it is. It's more pixels, and then with things like HDR and OLED, like, well, HDR specifically is more dynamic range in colors, so you are seeing more colors on your screen. There are more pixels on the screen, and it's getting things as clear and crisp as possible, to the point where I know it sounds ridiculous, but things on the screen are generally going to look better than they do in real life. That is how it's going.
I think that's the case. I guess what I mean is, rather than, there's always ways to improve, right? But maybe what I'm trying to say is, how far are we going to get to the point where we don't notice the change?
Yeah.
Because, like, I get what you mean about there's more colors and all this kind of stuff, but, like, we're already at a very good, like, 4K, 8K. I know we're still going ahead, and, like, to be honest, I mean, I'm still on, like, just HD shit. Like, I'm still, like, nowhere near 4K. I know. But, I don't know, man. Like, with, is this me or you?
I think it's you, Shy Guy.
Oh, they're trying to tell me to use items, that's why. So, with regards to it, I mean, as we both own Switches already, or anyone that does own a Switch, I don't see the appeal to buy it if you already have a Switch. Simply because, especially if you dock it. Because when you dock it, surely those visuals and audios are technically lost, because unless you have like a decent TV, then you kind of already got the TV, right?
That's the interesting thing about it. I think it depends on how you play your Switch. For me, I rarely play it docked. I play it primarily handheld, because it frees up it frees up the telly for like my girlfriend to watch whatever she wants to watch, or if she wants to play a game, whatever. Like I said, it's good for me in bed. I use it for commuting, for traveling. Like if I go back to my mum and dad's, for example, it's something. It's like a console I can just take home, and like I always play it handheld. So it immediately appealed to me because of the bigger screen. I think the reason there's a lot of chat and discourse about it is because it's not. There are no performance upgrades, which is what the Switch really needs, especially as games are getting better. Like, was it the Hyrule Warriors, the sequel that came out in December?
The Dynasty Warriors-esque.
Yeah.
Game, yeah.
It looks amazing, and I really, really want to play it because I really enjoyed the demo. But my God, the amount of particles on that screen, it slows right down. Right down to the point, it's like, it's not unenjoyable, and I'm sure if you've bought it, it's like an afterthought thing, like you primarily are enjoying the game. But the fact is, in this day and age, we should be getting a console that, if it's that game is built for this console, it's not on anything else. It should work perfectly for the Switch.
Do you think they hold off so that people will end up spending more money on, say, the OLED? So, like, they purposely, not purposely, but obviously these games come out where they're just so much better than the previous ones. And then they release. I was trying to think whether it's like the fact that the people that make games create these games so well that the consoles have to catch up. You think it's the other way around, where the console ends up bringing out new stuff, and the game makers are like, oh shit, we got to like add new stuff, and like use these kind of components that they're bringing in.
I think it depends really. Like obviously we've had the release of the next gen consoles recently, and like for example the PS5, you've got the DualSense controller, so a lot of games are now looking at this hardware going, oh, how can we use that, how can we utilize it? And the fact is you're seeing so many games, I know there's an argument that it's money grabbing and all that kind of stuff, but you're seeing games getting their PS5 enhancements like 60 frames per second and like 4K whatever. The games do look better, and they are suited to the hardware. The issue is the Switch is now dated because it's what, 5 years old now? Is it? Correct me if I'm wrong, but and there's been,
about that.
And as you said, the games are improving, but the hardware is not, which is really struggling.
Which is difficult to do once the hardware's released. You can only ever do software updates, really.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I mean, the only I've loved the Switch. The Switch has been one of my favorite consoles. I think personally, there's been some games out on PlayStation that have topped that. But personally, Nintendo Switch for me, console-wise, has been probably one of the best. I just realised I wasn't playing.
I think you still won. No, you didn't. Thank God.
Oh no, I just lost out. The only gripe I actually have against the old Switch is the stick drift. So
yeah, the Joy-Con.
You talking about having using it mostly undocked. The reason that I've actually ended up having it more docked or using the Pro Controller is because of the stick drift. Like, there's so many games I want to play. Like I was showing you earlier, like Binding of Isaac. Fucking love that game. But I can't just sit on the toilet and play it because it's shit.
It keeps going left.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's up, or I can't remember if it's left or up. But I know there's ways to fix it, obviously. But it's just that was a bit of a gripe with that. The fact that it kind of failed very quickly.
Yeah.
I know but it's also like the controllers are so expensive as well. I mean, I want more controllers because obviously when, let's say you have a Mario Party, a few drinks, and you want everyone to play, 4 controllers, perfect. But sorry, I just realised you need to remind me to ready up. I just realised.
Sit there, face that.
I'm just sitting there like, ooh.
Really? I was listening to what you were saying.
I mean, like 70, 80 quid. I mean, I don't know how much they are now. Actually, about 50 quid, right? Ish.
The Joy-Cons?
Yeah.
Currently,
roughly about 50.
Yeah, you get 40. I think I have 40 to 60, which is quite expensive, but they are quite unique little controllers, which I understand. Oh damn it. So yeah, I think all in all. Sorry, we did go on a tangent on the Switch. Like, but it, like you said, it is one of the better consoles that's been. Oh no, god damn it! It is one of the better consoles that's been released. Like, I've really enjoyed it, but I just have seen it like since getting the PS5 and like the Xbox Series S. My interest in playing it has dropped somewhat, unless Nintendo are dropping like a first-party title. That's kind of the main reason I play it.
But I think the key selling point for it is the fact that it's dock and undock, right? And it's seamless. You literally can play a game, and you can play it, and you're literally walking along to your living room, whatever. I mean, don't play and walk at the same time; it's terrible. But I don't endorse that. But then you dock it; it comes straight up on the TV. It's like seamless, absolutely seamless, and it's beautiful. There have been some incredible games that come out on it. I mean, any come to mind for you?
Well, the Switch itself, I think Mario Odyssey is one of the best things ever. And then obviously you got Breath of the Wild, which everyone loved. But like,
wasn't that on Wii U before?
That was on Wii U, so they did it on both. Okay. But I mean, I think most people probably played it on the Switch because it came with the launch. But then, like,
I did.
All my favorite games I played on Switch are Nintendo titles: Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers. I know this got a lot of flack, but it's fun when you got friends around.
Yeah. Definitely.
And Animal Crossing, like that took the world by storm. Like they have dropped off the last few years, but I think because of COVID, there's been like a load of production issues and whatnot. But yeah, I think the issue is I think everyone's been holding out for just this Switch XL, Switch Pro, what everyone's like coined. They've released this thing. Will I likely get it? I mean, as someone who plays handheld, probably. I'm not gonna lie, it is something that I'm interested in, but it's not the performance enhancing thing, and it makes me wonder: am I gonna put my money into this, and then like 6 months later they go, here's a Switch Pro for 50 quid more, and I'm like, right, so now am I triple dipping into Switches to get
triple dipping?
Triple dipping.
I've never heard. Triple dipping, brilliant. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that's also why, like, oh shit, I was one, got the wrong one. I needed 5, didn't I? I totally agree. Like, I love the Switch. The stick drift thing was a bit of an issue for me because it's like, it's not a simple fix. I know you can fix it yourself, but it generally isn't a simple fix to do.
No.
So it's like, oh, just pay an extra 50 quid and you can get some extra controllers. It's like, all right, cool. Money.
Well,
which we even spoke about earlier. Like, you know, the way that Nintendo are heading in, or how people feel they're heading in.
Yeah, it's not good at the moment. I think Nintendo are doing some very odd decisions, like the Mario 3D All Stars release for 5 months and then that's it. Like,
I
why?
was a sucker for that. I definitely got it.
Oh yeah, same. That's the issue.
It was great. It was great for me. It was great for me because I actually never played the other two, Sunshine and Jesus, I've forgotten them already. Oh, this is another one I probably shouldn't hold down.
Yeah, this is good.
So, I can't even think what they were now. It was Odyssey. No, not Odyssey.
Galaxy.
Sunshine, Galaxy, and 64. That's it. So I played 64, but I didn't play the other two.
You're not. You're meant to hold down the top button.
Oh, that's it. You hold it down. Okay. Oh shit. The top one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna suck at this one. Oh, got you. Yeah, I think I'm the same. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure what.
What's that, Tom?
This both is hilarious. Oh.
Yeah, having a serious conversation about money. But that's it. Like the decision to do that. Sugar.
Oh, how did you? Damn it.
Trained. I've been trained. It's just they've done some odd decisions at the moment, and that's a conversation for another time because there's a whole rabbit hole of info there. But the fact is, Nintendo have been known at the moment to be a bit money grabbing, and this Switch thing I think is a bit of an example of that. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I think a lot of the practice, for example, one we brought up earlier when we were talking about this was what we're playing now, Mario Party, right? It came out full price. There's only 5 boards on it. That's one's unlockable. Had very little online play until very recently, and it was short-lived, and they released no updates for it for about 1.5 years. I think it's been out.
Yeah.
Nintendo Direct.
I did the usual thing, like before you start playing a game with friends, check updates, and I was like, update 1.11 or 1.1. I was just really? Like, I really, because obviously I heard about the online thing, and I was expecting a bit more updates.
Yeah, no, that's it, and it's not great that happened, but hey, a lot of people bought it, including us, because the problem is we will buy what Nintendo puts out, because lo and behold, we enjoy their products for a certain amount of time, be it for a long time like Breath of the Wild or short-lived like this. But then the Nintendo Direct happened recently with at E3, and they've announced this Mario Party All-Stars with some N64 boards on it, whatever. That is now a full-price game. That could have been DLC for this for 20 quid, but that is now 45 quid. And it's a bit like, the issue is, we're still probably going to buy it.
You're right.
That's it, because no one wants to miss out, because people will enjoy it. You'll see your favourite YouTubers or streamers playing it and go, I want to be at that with my friends, like, whatever. That's the issue with Nintendo at the moment. So yeah, they're in a bit of a weird situation where they're still doing okay games and products, but also their marketing system is a little bit questionable, I think.
Yeah. So, talking about the Super Mario release or the bundle. Again, can't remember what it was called, but why? I didn't even look into it. But why was it that? Do you know why it was only 5 months, or was it just lit?
Oh, the 3D All-Stars.
Decision by them.
It was it was a decision by them. It was to do with Mario's 35th anniversary, where they did like the Mario 99 game and the Game and Watch and all that. They had like a big celebration. Animal Crossing had a load of items in it. But I don't know why they only did it for 5 months. it's because
maybe it was money. Maybe it was just money. It was like if people see urgency and they know it's only going to be out for a little bit, they're like, shit.
Everyone will jump on it. And like I literally bought it the day before it stopped being on sale because I was like, came to a point. I was like, I really want this. Like there are games like I haven't played Galaxy myself, so yeah, please, I'll have it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I've managed to use it to stream as well, which has been really, normally, like you say, you pay for a game, so it's 30 to 50 quid depending on where you buy it, or someplace anyway. But yeah, I managed to play like through like quite a few. I went through Odyssey, I went through Galaxy, currently going through like Sunshine at some point. But they are just fun games. It's kind of like, yeah, you have current releases, like there's like Cyberpunk and there's all these ones, and you're just like, these are fantastic games. But I played through, I think Odyssey was fucking fantastic, but Galaxy I really enjoyed, really enjoyed, and I wish I played it back on the Wii when it first came out as well. I know we're getting a bit on a tangent here, basically talking about Nintendo now, but like going back to the point about the OLED, like I don't know. I think it falls into a bracket of like, if your Switch already works and is fine, and you're not really fussed about the latest and greatest games, I don't think people are gonna buy it. Like if I didn't have a Switch and I saw that, obviously I'd immediately go for that because I mean, you might as well get the latest and greatest, right?
Yeah, that's it.
But for me, like my Switch still works. Like I'm still using. I don't have a PS5. I'm still using a PS4. I absolutely hate the how slow it is. Like the fact that even though I've got good internet, I can download a game very quickly, but the copying takes forever. Mainly because obviously the PS5's got the SSD now.
Have we done this one?
But like this one, this game?
Candy Shakedown. Yeah.
Yeah, we did it earlier.
Okay, I'll do it again.
But yeah, like for me personally, I wouldn't buy it. Like there's not enough. There's nothing additional or new that I feel compensates for the amount that I'd have to pay to get a new one. Unless, like, let's say I sold my previous Switch and then bought a new one. Yeah, I just feel like they could have done a lot more. Like, oh shit, they could have done a lot more.
That's it. They could have done a bit more. It's very
candy maker.
My Joy-Con is getting so uncalibrated through this whole process. Needs to recalibrate. Come on.
Oh, come on. Come on. God, that little green one's a little fucker.
I know. Come on,
little squirt. Oh, you one by a second.
But yeah, like so I think our opinions on the OLED is it's alright, but it's not quite the thing everyone wanted. And I mean, I don't know what everyone wanted at this point, because there's a lot of there's a counter argument, and again, this conversation for another time. But there's a lot of entitlement in some communities where in gaming, where you'll have a direct come out and it's not what they want, so it's trash or whatever, when it's actually quite good if you have an open mind about a lot of these games, which I think
it's not so much. It's not black and white. There is a grey area where there's so much other bits going on. Yeah, fully agree.
But OLED aside, OLED and Switch and Nintendo chat aside. There was also this week, talking about PlayStation and your PS4 and whatnot, there was a state of play for PlayStation, which is their version of the Nintendo Direct. So that's PlayStation, Sony, just showing off what's coming up, but they're a bit more, I would say the state of plays are a bit more direct in their, they basically go, we're going to show you this. Very good. They're very direct. They're very good at going, this one's going to be about, for example, this week's was about Deathloop. So they go, this one's about Deathloop, and you don't expect anything more, don't expect anything less. You'll see a little surprise in there, but you won't go, mind blowing, like God of War Ragnarok or whatever. It'll just be, hey, look at this cool little indie game. So that happened. And
why don't they do that? I mean, why don't they do more surprises that way? Because I mean, they pretty much boycotted E3 now, haven't they? There's no more PlayStation at E3, or at least they didn't put as much effort into it. And I don't know. Do you think COVID has been the death of E3?
I don't know. Apparently, a lot of people said E3 have been on the way out for a while. I still look forward to it because I just like I don't know if it's me in the wrong, but I don't mind watching a lot of these conferences and going. A lot of people say it's rubbish, but there's always something there. Like if I watch it and there's at least 2 games that I'm like, I'll probably play that. I'm like, yep, sweet, sorted. Like that's it. Unfortunately, you get a lot of people who are like, oh, they didn't show X, Y, Z, and it was because of rumours they've read on Reddit or whatever, and it's like, you got yourself too excited for something that hasn't got a whiff of, like, spoiler, source, like, no one said from the industry has said they're doing this certain thing, yet you've got excited about it, so don't be disappointed when it doesn't happen.
Do you know what that makes me feel like? Not makes me feel like, makes me think about. You've been watching the Disney Plus shows, right? Recently, Falcon Winter Soldier, Scarlet Witch, WandaVision, and all that. And throughout WandaVision, there was this whole thing about Mephisto that it's going to be like a certain character is going to make his return. Everyone was like, "It's him! It's him!" There's all these things. There's a goat. There's a cat. There's like all these things that are linked to like fucking the devil. And then obviously it wasn't, but it wasn't bad because like it was a nice surprise. Like Agatha was obviously the bad guy, lady, woman behind it all. But yeah, it's almost like they really want to believe that this shit's gonna happen, so they hype it up and they get it in your head, and you're just like, I think, and the same with films, and some games, you should go in blind. You should go in with no expectation. And that is also the key to a good birthday, is low expectations. But there's I think people hype it up too much, and like this is why I stay away from like all trailers now, even game trailers most times. Prefer, if I can, like play the game firsthand. Like I went to EGX 2 years ago now, and I played Kakarot. I played the Marvel Avengers as well, and there was another game on Switch that came out where it was I can't remember the name of it now. But besides the point, I got to try these games. And it was good. And I think I kind of missed that, like almost like the PlayStation demos that you used to be able to get in like magazines. Do you remember those?
Oh yeah.
And that was good because it was short and sweet. And there were some games that you'll play and you would rinse the fuck out the demo because you enjoyed the game so much. I don't know where I'm going now. Sorry, just messing around. But yeah, I think people hype up too much. It's just like, and the expectation is so high that any small thing is just redeemed as shit. It's like
that's the issue.
It doesn't have a USB-C. Nah, fuck that.
Yeah, I think the problem is I've got such an issue with the word trash that everyone seems to use at the moment. It's like just because it's something that you didn't expect doesn't mean the whole thing was rubbish. Like, yeah, I understand that there are probably some games or companies that phone it in a lot or a bit, whatever. But there's a lot of people who work hard for certain things and don't just write off someone's work because you personally think it's rubbish. Like, I just don't get that. Like, yeah, but it's an opinion, innit? It's all subjective. But
exactly.
And I think that's the issue with E3s there has been, is that the expectations be so high, and then suddenly it's just like a crashing blow when people don't get what they want. I don't want to use that iron. And yeah, but so this one, there was a lot of mixed feelings after this E3. I personally thought it was all right. Yeah, the Ubisoft conference was a bit all right. Like, there wasn't too much there for me.
I've only seen like a rough overview. So what games were shown?
Well, hundreds, hundreds and hundreds.
Well, okay. Well, no, okay. So what do you think stood out? I mean, like you said, it was meant to be about Deathloop, like the main.
All right, we're back on the state of play, right?
Oh, sorry. What were we talking about? The E3?
I was just talking about E3.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I lost track then. But I was on about state of play.
let's do E3 chat next time because there'll be a lot of interesting stuff there. But state of play, we're episode 0. We're tangenting a lot. I think the state of play was what it was. It was more Deathloop. I think I've seen a lot of Deathloop in the last 2 years, 3 years. Yeah. It's a game that I think looks very, very good, and I've seen more than enough of it now. Because it's like,
yeah, like how much do you need to see before you're like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it?
Yeah, that's it. Like it. Yeah. I get it. Like you understand more and more mechanics as they're showing you things. It does look really interesting, and I think I listened to.
You want to experience that firsthand. You want to play the game and be like, oh, this is new. I haven't seen this before.
True. I think the issue is it's such a new original game that they need to do these to kind of hone into an audience that may not be interested in it. Like this is how this works because it is very different. But yeah, this is a bit.
Yeah, I know. I'm making sure my controller comes like into view whenever I'm doing this now.
You're probably gonna hear me.
It's like YouTube. YouTube takes your video down because you look like you're tossing off on screen. But on that note, actually, about showing too much or not the whole wanking thing. I mean, like what? I don't know why it came to mind, but what? Oh, that was so close. What games come to mind where you've been shown, say, it could even be gameplay still as well, but you've been shown like trailers, like intros, you've seen so much and you're so hyped about this game, you're like, this is a fucking good game. And you get the game and it's been absolute dog shit. I say absolute dog shit. Not absolute dog shit because that's probably a bad thing to say, but you know, it's the expectation's been here and you get the game and it's like, what the fuck?
Well, I think I never bought it myself. I never played it, so like, forgive me, any fans out there of this who really enjoy it. But I think the biggest victim of that at the moment has been Cyberpunk, right? Yeah. It was 7 years hyped as Game of the Year, 20 whenever year it'll come out. People hadn't even seen.
Keanu Reeves in it.
I know, right? God, people hadn't even seen a screenshot of this game. And we're going, Game of the Year, Game of the Year. And like, and then it started coming out and there was that big reveal at E3 with Keanu, and then people were talking about it more and more and more, and you got to see more. And I went EGX, I went to the little the Cyberpunk booth, and you got to see gameplay for the first time, and great. I wasn't overly excited about it anyway. I haven't played The Witcher 3, I haven't played many CD Projekt Red games, so I know they're well loved, and I know people get excited about anything they do, which is great.
So massive. Like I think I got 60 hours into Witcher and I still wasn't anywhere near the end.
That's it. And I think people wanted this immersive experience, and it's like the cool world, but obviously the game was rushed to release and it just wasn't what people wanted. Like the story was nowhere near as long as people wanted it, despite the fact that apparently there's a lot of side content, but apparently it's only 20 hours long if you mainline it.
Oh really? That's not long.
Yeah, really, really short.
I mean, like how many people out there actually, because well, there's probably many, but personally for me, whenever I'm in games like that, like Skyrim, Witcher, like it takes me ages to finish the actual story because I just get sidetracked. I'm like, ooh, there's a flower over there. You follow the flower and then a talking dog is there and you're like, what the fuck?
This sounds nice. What game's this? The flower and the dog.
Skyrim, actually.
The flower and the dog.
It's actually Skyrim.
Ah.
Yeah.
But, look at this guy.
Yeah. What
but yeah, I think too many people got excited about it, and then I worry, and it wasn't what people wanted. I worry Deathloop probably isn't going the same way because Arcane are a very well-loved studio. They're very then I don't think they're as hyped as CD Projekt Red are. So you know, Cyberpunk was overly hyped. Where I feel like Deathloop, I think a lot of people on the same track where it's like, probably going to buy it, probably don't need to see anymore. Yeah. But then again, State of Play went, hey, here's 10 minutes of extended gameplay mechanics, and it looks good.
I think because we don't see the amount of hours that probably go into everything, the small details, the big details, like we don't see everything that goes into it. So they're like, they've maybe spent like 60 days on this little thing. Like, we need to showcase it, and then obviously all we see is a minor detail, but from their eyes it's a big thing. That could also be a reason why.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It could also be a reason. The other reason could just be that they've got nothing else to show. So they're just like, just pump this out. Like, what have you got for us?
Well, that's the thing. PlayStation have not. We know from the reveal of the PS5, there's a few things on their way, and there's been little drips and drabs coming out, but we don't fully know what the PS5 specific. We know what third-party games their release calendar is. We don't know PlayStation specifically. So yeah, these state of plays are an opportunity to show off, but they seem to be showing off. Like the last one was primarily about Horizon Forbidden West, which is a game which everyone.
I just realised I really fucked that up. I was thinking it would go down the tube.
Ah. But the good thing about these state of plays are they are, like I said before, they come out, they go, hey, this one's about this game, so don't expect much else, and you get it. And if you enjoy looking at Deathloop, hey, here's more of it. Outside of Deathloop, which I think does look good, I probably will get it. Don't know about day one, but I probably will enjoy it. There was a few other interesting games. So ones I thought looked good. So let's get out of the way. Death Stranding's getting a PS5 director's cut. It's a game I've been interested in, but I know it's very odd and very Kojima-y, so we'll see. But
that's something that I've not. The thing is, I've put off buying any kind of PS4 games now, or any games that I play on the PS4, simply because I know later down the line I'll get the PS5, and I don't know, as I'm getting older, I'm having more patience, which is a really strange thing to say. But I'm not so fussed. Like, if I get a PS5, there's obviously there's so much shortage and all this kind of stuff. I'll wait until it's like I don't have to fight people to get it. I'll just be like, once I can just wake up and go, I fancy a PS5. I've got enough money. I'm just gonna buy it and then get the games with it.
No, definitely.
So there was Death Stranding and
there was a few other things. So one I think you'll be interested in massively is a game called Sifu. And Sifu.
That means master. That's not master. Is that master? Is that professor?
I'm not too sure what it means.
Master Sifu is like a thing where you're like, it's like, can't remember exactly, but go on, tell me what it's about.
It's basically like a roguelike martial arts. So, have you seen the film Old Boy?
The shit one or the good one?
The good one, the Korean one.
I actually haven't seen the Korean one.
Oh.
I wasn't fussed about the American one, but I know the Korean one's good, so I'm gonna watch it soon.
Well, for those of that have seen Old Boy, and I'll describe it to you now, there's a scene where the main character's at the end of a corridor, and there's a bunch of enemies in it, like, let's say 30 people or whatever, and he just fights through them. Like, crazy skills. Fighting, it's violent, it's awful, looks great. This game basically reminds me of that corridor scene, but it's like a roguelike, and it's interesting because your character ages, I think, every time you die. So I don't know if that's like, do they age and get more knowledgeable?
You could end up having Master Roshi by the end of it.
Yeah, essentially, probably. And so we have to work together on this one, by the way.
Oh, do we? Okay. It's me and you. Okay,
yeah.
Cool, let's do it.
So that game is that. I'd recommend you looking at the trailer because I think it's right up your street.
I'm down.
And there's another one I'll point out called Jet: The Far Shore, which was shown in the PS5 showcase. There we go. PS5 showcase last year, and it's basically a little indie game where you play the group of survivors, and a group of explorers. Sorry, not survivors. As you literally just explore planets, and it's a really weird camera angle. Like, your jet looks really tiny. Hang on a minute, what we got here? You're leading this, and we want it.
That's fine. You're talking, I'm looking.
And I think it looks quite interesting. The characters look quite interesting. You're obviously exploring the worlds for, I think it's like Somewhere to Live.
Ready?
There we go. Or somewhere to settle maybe, and it just looks really good. And it looks really moody, and just like a game that you could just, it's like a drone soundtrack that you could just kind of switch your head off for a bit and just like enjoy, watch a spaceship go up and down. And I did write down a few others. Fist looks quite good.
Fist.
It's a game where you're a rabbit with a giant robot fist. That's all you need to know.
So there always tends to be like current trends, movies, music, gaming. I feel like animals fighting and like general shit like that is a current trend, because they had, I can't remember the name of it, but there was the recent one that came out that was hyped up about fucking 5 years ago.
Biomutant.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Animals fighting. There's I did see there was a second release of Moss.
Yep, Moss.
Is it Moss?
Yeah.
Again, fucking animals practically fighting. Like, I just feel like that's the current trend at the moment. It just seems to be just rodents, felines, fucking everything. It's just like, if it's got fur, it's gonna fight.
If it's got fur, it's got muscles bigger than me.
I mean, that's not difficult. But there was I'm joking. But there's what was the one? It was out on like PS1, maybe PS2, and it was basically like, maybe it even wasn't like animals, but it was like teddy bears. There was like the teddy bears one. They were like cut up and they had like guns and everything. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
If I remember it, I'll tell you next time. I feel it was like furry fusion furries or something like that.
Well,
that actually sounds more like a sex movie, but
to be honest, I think it's been a trend forever, innit? Yeah, like starting with Crash Bandicoot.
True.
Like
Sly Raccoon as well.
Sly Raccoon, Conker's Bad Fur Day. If you're going all the way like proper back, I think.
And Joe Kazooie. Yeah.
I think it's interesting, but
no, actually, I mean, yeah, you are right. Actually, like there is a lot of that, and actually, to be honest, it's probably easier to animate. Maybe not. I was going to say maybe it's easier to animate an animal than a human being, but I don't know. I don't know the logistics behind it, to be honest.
I think it's because, I don't know, I suppose you can add any personality to any human character as well, but to animate an animal, you are literally, you're giving an animal, you're personifying it, and that's really interesting. It's not like just going, oh, it's a man with man thoughts, like human thoughts. Man thoughts. But it's like, here's an animal, and it's humanizing them, and it's making them relatable, and I don't know. There must be an interesting reason to write them.
You saying that about making them relatable. I mean that's movies and games and everything like relating to that, right?
Mm.
Yeah, so I think you're totally right. It's like how are you going to make this animal relatable to you? And it's like, or at least relatable to you in a sense.
Mm.
So I think you're Jesus. I don't know if that's a good dice block or not.
It really isn't. That's risk reward. That
no, like 0, 0, 0. Jesus.
Where is the star?
Bottom right.
There she is.
So you need to get the green pipe.
I need a big old pipey boy. Let's just do this. But anyway, that was the state of play. Was it underwhelming? Not really, because they didn't say they were doing much else. I think that's all the kind of recent gaming news. Like I said, I think next time we could do a good deep dive into E3 and coming up, because there's some interesting stuff coming out soon, especially for Games Pass, which I am a huge fan of. But
yeah, you've told me a little bit. Like if I had a decent PC, I would definitely be all over that. But I think because I know you said about getting the latest Xbox console. So obviously, technically, getting the Game Pass, it would be cheaper doing it that than getting a PC that would probably end up putting back 3 times the amount. But I don't want too many consoles. Like, I've already got the Switch and PS4, and if I want a PC as well, it's like there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
What are do you know the games out this month for Game Pass?
Games Pass this month, I think the ones I'm interested in, there's a game called The Ascent coming out, which is like a top-down shooter set in like a cyberpunky world. Oh god, how are you doing this? Set in like
I don't like this one.
set in like a cyberpunk world, which looks really good. And then you've got another good one that I'm looking forward to is Microsoft Flight Simulator for the console, because that's been out on Games Pass PC.
There are so many simulators out that people like.
I'm very excited about streaming a flight from like London to, I don't know, let's go to LA or something fun. That was
absolutely smashed that one.
Tour de force. But there's a few other things coming out. Gris Tales that's quite good. It's like an animated RPG where like you can play with elements from the past and the present to affect the future and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it looks really interesting. But I'll go on about Games Pass. I was a late believer in it, but now I am like, holy hell, it's one of the best deals. And the fact that you can whack yourself up a Xbox Series S for £250 here in the UK, for £10 a month after that, you've got a unbelievable library at your hands. Like, it's good.
They really cracked it by doing it alongside PC as well. I think that probably helped boost it up, because I know obviously games like Xbox were the first ones to actually charge for online, I believe, out of all the consoles. Xbox 360,
Xbox Live.
well, no, Xbox Live. Sorry, yeah. I'm saying like, I went PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, then back to PlayStation. But yeah, I think I mean, obviously, I think PlayStation. Well, I know PlayStation didn't charge for a long time actually, and then they started obviously charging. But I think they started releasing games, and then Games Pass, I believe, started after PlayStation started releasing games.
What,
it might not have been
now?
sooner. Yeah, I think PlayStation started first.
I think
with
PlayStation
releasing
Now.
games.
Yeah, I think PlayStation Now did it, and then
PlayStation Now is something different, right? PlayStation Now is actually like a library, like a cloud library.
Yeah,
but I'm on about the releases each month.
Oh right, yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't actually know too much about Game Pass. Is Game Pass similar to PlayStation Plus, where they release games each month?
No, Games Pass. So they've got Games with Gold, which is basically that. Games with Gold is not as good as the PS Plus monthly games. Games with Gold is phoned in a little bit, but it's because Games Pass is it's a cliche. It's a Netflix for games. It's a library of games that you can.
So Game Pass is basically like PlayStation Now.
Yeah, pretty much. But it just works a lot better. And the fact is, like you said, you got it on console, you got it on PC. I can play the games on here as well. Like, you can play next-gen games on your phone. Some of them are touch, so you don't even need to get an external controller. I've got a Razer Kishi, which just plugs in, and it basically turns your phone into a mini Switch. It's great, and you can just stream games straight in. But talking about Games Pass, and to round this up a little bit, what have you been playing this week? Because I've been playing a few things on Games Pass, but I'll talk about it in a bit. But is there anything that you've been playing that tickled your fancy, tickled your pickles?
So, I have a crack habit with Warzone.
Yep.
I.e.,
I've
I
seen
delete it.
I've seen your 1,000 hours.
Ridiculous, stupid, but that's fucking minimal compared to a lot of people. But that's kind of like on the side. I just play it to, I want to say, relieve tension, but I end up being more raged coming off it than anything. But yeah, that game kind of like I delete every 3 weeks and then I reinstall because I got bored. I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima for the first time, like first playthrough on stream. Really enjoying that. I played the Legends mode for the first time the other day. A couple. I know me and you are gonna hook up on it as well. So next time I'm on, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the games I'm playing. Really enjoying. I think my most overused phrase when I've been playing it is, "This is fucking beautiful."
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima
is
is amazing.
You're just fucking going through a field with your horse, and it's like flowers everywhere, and it's just like, and the sun's setting. And I was like, it is such a beautiful game, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I am so excited for the director's cut for that, which is coming out soon.
Me too. Again, that'll be something that maybe I'll get on PS5. It won't be like I'm gonna wait for that. The other because I normally play. I think normally when I have a couple games on the lot, it's like I have like a story-driven game, and then I have another game where it's like a bit more arcadey, a bit more kind of like I can jump on, play 20 minutes, jump off. And one of those I was playing earlier and showing you was Binding of Isaac.
Yep.
So I've had that. This is one of the games, and I'm sure you've had plenty similar, where you end up buying multiple copies of over different platforms. I've done that with Binding of Isaac. I had it on like PlayStation. I've got it on the Switch, and then I was looking at the PC just yesterday. So I'm like, I wanna try and have it on a few different things. But I love that game, man. It's just so it's bonkers. It's a bit mad.
Yeah, jump in, jump out.
But it's much like Rogue's Legacy that I played recently. It's just a game that changes each time you go into the levels. And yeah, there might be similar formats or especially like the enemies, they all have similar attacks and how they move and stuff. I realize I haven't pressed ready, but it's one of those games I just always go back to. But yeah, they're kind of the games I've been playing. What about yourself?
So talking about Games Pass, I've been playing a game called Outer Worlds, which came out 2-3 years ago. Damn it, man, you're quick on this. I thought I was...
No, not. Ooh, what a joint place.
And yeah, so Outer Worlds.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so basically it's made by the team, I think it's Obsidian, who made Fallout New Vegas, which is regarded as the... my door just looked like it closed by itself. That was my girlfriend. I look like Poltergeist. It's made by the guys. So New Vegas is considered... What's that?
I don't know why, but like Magic Mike came to mind, and I was just like, yeah, don't worry, carry on.
How random.
Magic Mike. I know. I don't know why I went Magic Mike when I was thinking of someone like with fucking powers, but yeah.
Wicked. So
off, love.
Fallout New Vegas is considered like one of the better Fallouts, and I think it's the best Fallout. So it's made by that team, and this is basically Fallout but in space, and it's got a real like 80s sci-fi adventure feel to it.
I love 80s. Like, has it got like synth? Like, has it got like?
I wouldn't say it's like, it's not like it's an 80s vibe. It's just like, it just feels like an old school sci-fi adventure. And you just travel from planet to planet, doing errands for people. There's an underlying story which is really interesting, and I just think it's blooming great. And it's taken me a long time to get my teeth properly into an RPG because they're so big, and as you say, time seems to disappear when you get older. But this is one that I happily would just put.
This fucking game, like, what the fuck? It's like,
I don't know.
We basically don't want you to win, so we're gonna give everyone else stars other than you.
You get a star. You get a star.
You get a star.
So a lot of my time has been dedicated to that. I think a second game I've been playing, which I've been playing on the Switch, funnily enough, portable is great, is a game called Cat Quest 2. That's your winner, by the way. Cat Quest 2 is another RPG, but it's way shorter. Like I think it's less than 10 hours. But it's literally like a cartoony. Thank you. It's a cartoon art. You play as a cat and a dog, and the kingdom's been taken over, and you just go through and do all these quests. The combat's really simple. It's just dodge and attack and magic spells, but you can like get armor upgrades and all that kind of stuff. But it's just really chilled out. It's not too challenging. Yeah, it's great. So I've been playing a bit of that. I recommend you get it as well because it's quite cheap. If anyone fancies just like a Switch game, you can pick up. The missions are about like 3 minutes long, so you could just pick up, do like 2 or 3 if you're busy. Sis. Oh god.
It does sound good. It does sound good.
But that's it. Yeah, I've been playing that and dipping in and out of again on Games Pass Forza Horizon.
You've got Mario Golf at the moment, haven't you?
I have, yeah, but I haven't really played too much of it because I enjoy a sports game. Don't get me wrong. Oh god, I love my people. But yeah. It's just I just haven't had time to sink into it really because a majority of my time is on the one sports game I play too much of, which is F1 2020, because it is the best racing sim you could play. I'm starting to really get used to manual driving, like proper intimate car setups. It's proper nerdy if you're a big Formula 1 fan, like I am. And yeah, I love it. And Formula 1 2021 is out soon. It's a game I play with my dad as well, so like we get a bit of bonding time over it.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
So yeah, it's wicked. So that's kind of where my time is at the moment. And next week, looking forward, I think it's just going to be more Outer Worlds. And I think I want to get my teeth into something new on the PS5. I have recently downloaded Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Odyssey is the Greek one, right?
Greek one, yeah. So I think...
Yeah, I really want to play Valhalla again, wait until I get next gen. But yeah, Odyssey, it goes along a similar line, doesn't it? Like, it's not similar line. I mean Odyssey, because they implemented something a bit different in Odyssey, and I think they've carried that on to Valhalla. Again, this is me just fucking from random viewings, but yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it next time because I'll put a bit of time into it so I could have so I've got a bit of knowledge on it. But from what I know, Assassin's Creed, they released a load of games like varying quality and reviews, but they were big fans of it. But then they released Assassin's Creed Origins, which is when they kind of went, hey, let's turn this into more of an RPG.
Yeah.
Open world. I know they're open world games, but this was like a huge map. Like I know Black Flag had a huge map as well, so it's kind of going along that route. And
well, you could actually go along the sea, right?
Yeah, literally go anywhere. And I played a bit of that, and I really enjoyed it. But I was renting it, and I had to cancel my rental service, so I had to drop it off. And I haven't really played one since. And I got Valhalla. I've got this really bad knack of buying games when I can't afford them on day one release and then never playing them. So I've got Valhalla.
I really don't think you're alone there. I'm sure there's a ton of people that are like that.
Oh yeah. I was thinking a big topic for a podcast coming up would be the joys of a backlog and why we do it to ourselves.
I'm totally down for that.
But yeah, so I had Valhalla, but I've been watching Vikings at the moment. I feel like I want to finish Vikings on Amazon Prime and then get into
how far are you away from the ending?
Oh, ages.
Okay.
But I was thinking,
what season are you on?
2.
Cool. Okay,
But then
you got a little while.
But then I just saw, as a sucker for a sale, I saw Odyssey for like 15 quid and was like, let's give it a go, because I've heard this is the one.
Yeah.
That's the one that everyone was like, hey, this Assassin's Creed doing something great here. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'll talk about it a lot more next time. There's my excuse to play it.
No, that definitely.
If I can be dragged off. If I can be dragged off Formula 1, that is. Because I love it too much.
Or Outer Worlds. Yeah, I think I'm... so for people out there that if they didn't hear or didn't acknowledge, but we both stream on Twitch, and at the moment I am doing a bit of a playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima. I do mix it up sometimes with a little bit of like kind of indie games and that, but I think that's basically what I'm playing through. And we will add our things in the descriptions, or we'll get our users and usernames on there and stuff, so you can, if you like, you can come along and have a look. I know Adam's been off a little bit, but you're looking about making a little bit of a return. Yeah,
coming back, baby.
Do you know what you would want to stream when you come back?
Yes, I do, and it will likely be Gears of War, because
the new one.
It will be from 1 till whenever, because you're
going to do a playthrough of the whole series?
Yeah, they're all on Games Pass, and I've been looking for an excuse to get into them, so it'll be that, and probably, not gonna lie, Microsoft Flight Sim. When I get it, and will come with me on a flight to wherever the hell we can go. But yeah, I'll add our Twitch handles to this, so you should see them below somewhere. But yeah, I think I've got to get ready because England's about to bring it home. So have you heard something's coming home apparently? And I hope this doesn't age badly.
Oh god, when this comes out, it's gonna be like, yeah.
I should have worn white. I'm wearing blue like the Italians. Oh God's sake. But yeah, so I've got to rush.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was a pilot episode. See how we get on. Obviously, if there's anyone that watches this, just I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to play this alongside it, but I think it's that one. Yeah, I mean, if you can follow, subscribe, all that kind of shit that goes along with it, and anything you want to see or you don't want to see,
comment.
Let us know. Obviously, yeah, just any kind of review or whatever like that, we are more than happy to take on board. Jesus, I suck at this game.
Yeah, I know we've been a bit tangenty, but as we said, EP1, just getting a feeler.
I think to be honest, with conversations, it always ends up going that way. As long as we can go back and remember, which is my terrible thing of doing. And like, what the fuck were we talking about again? It's like went from bloody off tangents.
Doing it right now. Look at him.
I know. I'm like, my brain's going. I'm just like, think about stuff. I'm like, what? Anyway. But yes. Thank you very much for your time today, Adam.
No worries. Thank you, Thomas.
Thomas. Oh, you're getting out my real name now.
Oh, sorry. But we'll catch you next time.